Welcome viewers, today we're going to take this washing machine to bits. Unfortunately we can't fix it. Have a listen to this drum. So something really bad going on there. Don't know what it is. I thought it would be the bearings, but it turned out to be a bit more serious than that. Before we start, big shout out to these two channels. I learned a lot from these, so if you want more information, go and check them out. So let's take it to bits, see what we can find. So we can undo this clip at the front to take down this panel, and then I'm just letting out the water. I thought I had already done this by using the drain hose at the back. Obviously I hadn't, so we lifted it up, put it on some blocks of wood and let the water come out. Then just take the door off. Those are 7mm bolts, so impact them out. Then we've moved the top, so that just slides back. There's two screws in there, and then we've got this beast underneath that's made of concrete. We're going to impact that out. Again, this is something that makes it really awkward to move around, so the sooner we get that out of the way the better. It's a bit difficult with one hand. Okay, so next I'm going to remove these bolts to take the front panel off. I've got no idea what I'm doing here. If I see it, I'm going to remove it. Here, take the tree out, and there's a couple of screws there. Couple of clips. And if you pull those forward, and the only thing holding it in is that box there that takes the washing powder. Don't know what it's called. I'm a pure amateur at this. Take the screws out. Okay, then we've got this rubber hose. Just pull that up and it'll unclip. So we'll disconnect these connectors, basically keeping everything intact just to see how it goes together. I could obviously cut them all with wire cutters, but where's the fun in that? Let's keep everything intact if we can. So now we're going to take the back end plate off. It's just a load of self-tapping screws, and behind it we'll be able to see the belt and the motor. Take the belt off. Again, I could just cut this, but let's just take it off nicely. And then we're going to impact out the motor at the bottom. So this is only awkward because I'm doing it with one hand, but it's very easy really. One thing I should have done was disconnected the wiring harness a little bit earlier. So again, it's awkward to take that apart, but you could just cut it. I just want to see what it's like. Reason being, if you did have to fix this for real, you want to be able to know how that goes together, particularly when it's in an awkward position. See if we can keep the wiring harness intact. And then we've got to take off the seal, and again I've got no idea how to do this, but we will take, there's a little spring there, we'll lift up with a pick. And then again, it takes two hands, so I just managed to prise that off. It's difficult to do these things while you're filming it with one hand, prising it apart with the other. Then I just pulled that forward. Again, we could just cut this out with a Stanley knife, but let's just see how we get on. We've got two springs holding the drum in. Again, wasn't sure how they came apart, but I eventually found if you lifted the drum up with one hand and just lifted the spring with the other, it came apart quite easily. I want to see how those clips fit together. Again, just for future reference, in case I do ever fix a washing machine, I know how to then piece together easily. Okay, so we've got the springs off and the drums loose. If you go underneath it, you find that there's other things attached. So we disconnected it, and obviously there's that lump of concrete on the front, which makes it really difficult to manhandle. Again, so we use the impact to get those bolts out. And we're going to keep that concrete. Who knows what we can use that for. Maybe hold a gazebo down. I haven't got a gazebo, but if I did have, we could use it. A bit of gentle persuasion just to keep that intact. And then you can just see how loose that drum is. I'm expecting collapsed bearings. Okay, so we're going to see if we can get to the bearings by removing the wheel, whatever that's called. So again, just use an impact to get that out. And we're going to just prise that off with a pry bar. Again, it's difficult when you just got one hand to do it with. I could set up a tripod, but I'm just too interested in what I'm doing, and I really want to see what's going on inside. What we're going to have to do is we're going to cut the drum open. This is the reason why we can't fix it, by the way. Sealed drums. So we're going to cut this open. I'm just going down that seam you can see there. It's glued up together at the factory, and then we're going to prise that apart and see what we can find. Okay, so you can see how loose that drum is. Pull that out, and instead of broken bearings, we actually find the spider on the back has snapped completely. Yeah. Wow. I would never have expected that. I just thought the bearings had collapsed. But there you go. That's why we take it to bits, just to find out what's going on.